All right, what a dooski. Man, July just dreaded one of the worst months out this year, man. That's just the theme, got a little bit to talk before we get to it, but yes, it is the last horror pack. Time that eventually had to come goes out at the worst time and worst way. So much going on, It's just like I was going to bring some other things like Game Informer I wanted to talk about, but we're going to hold off on that one. We're just going to talk about greedy corporations and why things like this happen. Okay, and I've mentioned this plenty of times. I've mentioned this actually in email stating that it seems like horror pack is going to go out of cancel. They're just going to stop. And of course, I understand it's your company. You don't want to make no bad stuff happen, or claim or make it seem like that. No panic, nothing. But that's exactly what it was. I basically got a BS reply back saying, no, that's not what's happening. It's just, for this month, things late. The supplier came in late with this one movie. We had to wait, or whatever the case may be. That's what happened. But this has not gone for like about 4 or 5 months in a row now. Or maybe, maybe 3, 4, but like still eventually you're going to have to come out and say what's happening, and eventually you're going to get tired of what's going on. And so they made a notice the other day on their page. I just got this today, so they let us know a day ahead of time. But to say that, hey, it's because movie industry isn't like what it used to be, is more going to, no, you can't say digital. No, get the hell out of here with that, That was the excuse way beforehand, before COVID and all that. So, deal is physical collections and all that is the highest it's ever been. People want those discs. They don't want digital. These people with digital subscriptions or they buying and saying, hey, we're going to take this back from you. Or, oh, you done lost your collection. Should have went physical. Yes. So I'm gonna let you know what it really is. This deals with greedy corporations and everything wants more money, and you get shittier services once you comply. That's what happened. Now I'm not saying this is Chris and Diego's fault or that's them being because they're not a big corporation and like that. Okay, they're the little guys who's trying to make something nice. They've had it going on for years, and I've been very grateful for it. I always look forward to this. Of anything, this is the one thing I didn't want to happen. Not my horror pack, Y'all can take my Tokyo treats, and I'd rather have the horror pack, So, what's going on? Well, COVID and people wanted more and all this, during COVID season because they stuck in the house, they want more, and everybody wants to take advantage and raise the prices. Then inflation hit. Let's raise the prices again. Everybody else is doing this. Just keep raising and raising and raising. And that's what happened. I brought this attention many times how movies used to be 15 for Blu-rays and like 15 to 18, nothing more than 20. But for 4Ks, there were 20 to 22, to 28, the highest, such as Screen Factory or these boutiques. And then eventually, monkey see, monkey do. Hey, they doing it. Let's do that. Eventually, retailers with all this, the big companies also, hey, Lionsgate, let's copy Disney movie subscription, their movie club. Let's do that with Lionsgate exclusive club. So we got Lionsgate club exclusive steelbooks because hey, everybody's grabbing because they know it's more popular than ever. People want physicals. Steelbooks, ooh la la. Let's raise the prices. Lionsgate got these exclusive steel books, all need titles. Then some, bloop. Hey, y'all like the Vestro collectors movies, right? Vestron collectors, yeah. You praised us because we went from high price down to a low price. You were like, oh, $13 to $16 for one. You loved us for that. Well, unfortunately, we don't have much movies with our exclusive club, so we're going to take this Vestron collector series and we're going to put that there. So you're going to have to pay 30, 40 some dollars for each of those. But hey, if you bundle 5 or 6 movies, shipping is free because our shipping is but high. Well, they got me because they put out 3 Vestron movies. They knew we wanted this Vestron series to keep going through. So they was like, hey, for the next one, because, we've been spacing it out pretty long and far. But for the next one, we're going to take 3 highly ones. We're going to put May. We're going to have the Ghoulies go to school or college. And 30 some, $35, $40. Yeah, we're going to make money. You destroyed all those praises. That's what that is. And monkey see, monkey do. Everybody wants to jump in on this. Hey, Amazon, $44, $50. What? Excuse me? How you gonna ask for more than boutiques? The only company that ever did this was Synapse. And now everybody wants to jump on this train because physical is the highest it's ever been. These collectors, they know they're going to dish the money out, so we got to capitalize. So I understand from Diego Chris's point, it's getting harder and harder to find movies now. Because even the little B-horror ones that you could find $5 in the bargain bin and you can get cheap out for a wholesale, it's getting harder and harder to find because now people's like, they getting big money. We can get big money too for these little small things. $5? Ha! $15, $20 per now. So that's where they had to make a choice, the horror pack. They had to increase the prices. I knew it would eventually come because you can't just have just 4 movies for $20. I mean, you can't keep doing that, then 25 and let's jump to, just to try and meet up, we're going to put some better stuff in. Unfortunately, I have to say they didn't meet that criteria. We didn't get, maybe maybe 2-3 months we got some ooh la la, but like they mentioned in the email, it's getting harder when suppliers ain't putting it out on time because they also getting crappy services. They're losing crates, so half the people don't get what's supposed to come out. They said out of 4 movies, like some only get one of those movies. That is crazy, or they get a shipment and some people get slip covers, others don't get slip covers. Some of these steel books look good and some of them dense, but hey, we got try to meet ends, so I understand that aspect. Raising the prices was the best thing they could do. To me, I don't want it to end. I don't think nobody wants it to end. They don't want it to end. It's the fact it's getting so hard, and me personally, I wish they would go bi-monthly. I ain't gonna like it too much, but at least it gives them more time and better ways to get things in, and not just rush and things delayed, and so they gotta go out their ways and scratch this movie off and try to get another type of movie in on time. They probably paying more out of their pocket doing that, But these greedy corporations, they want more than the smaller corporations. Hey, shipping. We need more money to go ahead and ship this on time, So we need money too. You got all these boxes you want out on time. Yeah, we want money. You want supplies. You need a cardboard. You need the little plastic to put it in. Something like. Oh, well, I forgot, but you know what I'm talking about. The nice little things. I keep these because they're never sealed properly, so the seal with the glue still there, so I can recycle these and. So I keep those. But I get it, just supplies and stuff goes up. Eventually, you're going to get to a point you want to raise your prices, but people going to be like, boy, we got a backlash when we went up on prices. We can't go up on prices again. The only answer would be bi-monthly, But to me, I would never just end it on July. I would say, hey, everybody, give us 3 months. We're going to have our last horror pack on October. Get it? October? Horror pack? It goes hand in hand. I say that every year. But that would give them 3 months to have one final finale to give horror pack the proper farewell, Maybe a steelbook in there, 2 slip covers, or well, this is me, saying I'm just going off some ooh la la to be like, there we go, we ended it on a high note. We said we're going to make higher prices so we can have better stuff in there. This one had the good stuff in it. We went off on a high note. To me, July, usually that is like a low note. You get just like some drops, you're happy with, but they're nowhere near compared to the months that's just wow, And that's how I feel this month. We're gonna show that off, but I mean, like, I just gotta state, this deals with costs. This costs with everybody wanting more money. This and you're getting crappier services. You see all these little shipping things, they go on strike. Hey, we want more money. They get it, and the services are even worse now. Amazon's 2-day shipping ain't 2-day shipping no more. You hit with delays. Remember, that used to be the reason for their subscription with Amazon. Hey, 2-day shipping, you always get it the second day. You'd be lucky to get it on the second day. In fact, it was at such a prime moment, they would offer 1-day shipping for free. That's how good they were. But yeah, you see all these other companies, they gain more money, and then they get lazier and lazier, and it's harder for sometimes them. And you see now, companies, they're like, man, we don't want to deal with Amazon. Too many boxes coming. I mean, like, this type of age is so much different. And plus with inflation, they say, oh, inflation is down. So why is the prices not going down? Why is the prices for things still high? Because the dollar is not worth the same as it used to. Especially with these other subscription boxes I have with Japan Crate and Tokyo Treat and all that. They can't get like they used to be, because the dollar's worth is kind of shitty now. Yes, we're still high and pretty economy than others, but dollar's kind of shitty, because we're at the defect, and the defect keep getting higher. We still owe money. The dollar gets printed a high rate. Mismanagement where the money goes, and yeah, look at that. You see my colas be so small. Active duty, their E4s make more than a 90% disabled vet. And E1's number before taxes is higher than a 90%. This month, well, this year, let's put it this way, they got another nice raise, and once again, we get half of that, and if they get another 14% with the E1s through E4s again, God, they gone. They way surpassed that. But I'm telling you, this year, E4s after taxes is going to make more than 100% disabled vet. That's disgusting. And this is like Japan Crate. I've mentioned this with Japan Crate. First, they got rid of all their mascots. Then they downsized themselves, as in what they had. They used to have little art supplies. They got rid of art supplies. They had the little art stuff, like not that, but I don't want to say wafu, but like they had like something for like the girly stuff, and as well, with the besides stationery, but stuff for the girls, ribbons, whatever. And that was the first thing to go. Ramen. They had a ramen crate. They got rid of the ramen crate. And they eventually they had to sell to another company, but eventually this company was like, we're not going to fund y'all. So they had to go bi-monthly. Eventually, they took a hit in quality. Even Tokyo Treat is having this issue. We lost the sodas. But the sodas were going down anyway. We used to get these nice bottle of exclusives that you couldn't get nowhere before. Different flavors, that nothing like that. Big stuff, the Ramoons. And all of a sudden, we started to get energy drinks, little small energy drinks. Coffees, corn drinks, stuff that nobody asked for. We're like, where's the exclusive sodas? Where's the exclusive candies? In fact, Japan Crate was getting behind so much that when it came to seasons like Halloween, there's no Halloween snacks in the... They had Halloween stickers, but no Halloween themed snacks. That's how bad that was getting. So they had to get rid of it. Tokyo Treat is... I'm just waiting for them to say the same thing. Because they said they weren't... They claimed to improve, more deluxe, so they have more items. Well, I saw when they had 3 big chips or whatever go down to just 1 medium and to a whole bunch of small stuff that's cheap. I feel like I'm not getting my money's worth. I feel like it's just crap in there, like they're starting to get crap in there, the exclusive stuff don't look exclusive because, it costs more now. To ship, it costs more now. I don't know what to say, I'm down to now just a Tokyo Treat. I'm down to one subscription thing, and I hate that. I used to have so many. Nerd Block this was the first to go. Loot Crate had a small, shrink themselves down. These subscription boxes can't survive because companies want more and more and more. but it's not even worth it no more. Who wants to get to a point where it's about $80, $100 and you're only getting like $35 worth of candies or stuff, you know? Even the bowls of ramens have been downgraded to like little small. So I had to watch as Japan Crate had to do that. Even their endorsements, their sponsors started disappearing, and it wasn't even worth it no more. And I just knew it felt so familiar. I asked, like, hey, are y'all having problems? Because it's been like about 3-4 months now, the same delay, it's getting longer and longer. And they're like, no, that's not happening. Well, it ain't digital. It's not things, like I said, there's physicals everywhere. There's still tons of B-rated movies out there. It's just the fact that everybody wants more money. And you're getting more shittier services, as in, hey, in order to get this in time, it's not making the cut. You're getting half with slip covers. You're missing your own crates, so you don't have enough to ship out. I mean, I get that aspect. But I would have preferred bi-monthly at least, or hey, final crate goes out in October. Give us 2 to 3 months, and we're going to have the best crate yet, and then we're out. I mean, it was sad times when I had to watch when they teamed up with Rue Morgue and they had the Rue box. And that lasted for a few months, and then it was like, hey, we got to stop that. They had those issues ahead of time with that. But anywho, let's jump in there. I talked y'all head off. I probably have some more things to talk about it, but I don't want to keep, start repeating the same stuff. But that's what it comes down to. Greed and people wanting more money, and it just gets harder to supply. So let's take a look at July. The last horror pack. We got The Ritual Killer with Morgan Freeman. It was a pretty good movie. I don't have it in the collection, but I've seen it though, so that's a plus because I don't have it. Exorcism at 60,000 feet. I don't know if I have this or not. I'm just going to say I don't have it, but I feel that does this have a slipcover? I feel because it's a double-sided post. It's double-sided, okay? Let's put it this way. I feel they may have a slipcover. I may have to look, but even if there isn't, that's fine by me. I don't know if I have this, but let's count it as I don't have, okay? So that looks pretty decent, though. And I like horror stuff. That's like spirits, ghosts, exorcism type. So that's definitely down my road. We got The Pale Door from the writer of Bubba Hotep. All right. I definitely never heard of this before, so that's definitely a blind watch right there. I'm definitely looking forward to that. And then our horror pack. I always look forward to these things, to supply us every month with a horror pack exclusive is huge to me, And that's with Night Terrors. So that may be something like a trilogy or a quad anthology type. I have no idea. I haven't read it back. Yeah, so it's 3 movies as one. So it's definitely some tales, So that's always big with me, saying first time watch, first impressions. So 4 out of 4 is pretty good to me. But comparing it to others that we had before, July is definitely one of the lower months. So for this to be the last horror pack, it's definitely below standards of horror itself or what they've put out before. And I felt like they definitely need to make one last one. Give them 2-3 months. And I feel they will make the best box yet. And that'll be the last and final one. I understand it gets so hard to maintain and go through this and you just get exhausted. You're tired. You're mad at what's going on, not getting what you're supposed to, then you got fill in the void, and that doesn't go right, and then you got to find another, and you're not getting as many copies, you're missing certain parts of it. I get that. And I hate that happen, For that to be it as a finale, that hurts. And to be at a point, it's not one of the best crates they put out, or up near to the middle either, like the high middle. I'm not going to say middle, but like, I felt like this can't be the last. This is not the way to go out. But this is my opinion, I've always been saying what I feel, saying even If certain aspects is like unavoidable, I understand that, but this can't be the last. I'm sorry, this just can't be the last. I always look forward to this. What's going to replace that? I mean, I've complained about other subscription boxes. I complained about Pokemon. I mean, look, it's still crazy. 4.5, 4.5 sets, and there's still pandemonium out there. They just got at Sam's these 2-pack bundles of prismatic, and there was no limit. People were taking the whole pallets. Crazy. It's still bonkos out there, and they about to have a new one come out next month. Another the mega evolve, and nothing's changed. Poker people don't care because the greedy corporations, they're big time. They print the lowest they've ever done, and they just happy because they bring in money, and they don't care. They don't care that even retailers are double pricing stuff. Amazon double price and price gouging. They don't care. How is it during the pandemic? It took 1 month and it became normal again. But here, they're not printing on demand. They're not combating bots. They don't care. Trash. Because it's greedy corporations. But anywho, I'm done talking y'all head out. There's some sad times for me. I wish I could get this the best episode for Horror Pack, but I mean, like, it is what it is. I wish better. I'm sitting like this because my cat is underneath, like a boot box is sitting right underneath me, so I can't put my legs there. And that's because it's kind of dark outside. It started raining, and when it gets to like rainy, Boobah gets scared, so he gets close to me. Anywho's, sad times. Leave some likes, some comments. Definitely hit that bell to subscribe, and always try to enjoy.